kind of like, all right, man, I get it. It sucks when your partner has a past. Like, that shit hits your soul no matter what. But my nigga, that's just how it is. Not much you can do about that. People had lives before they met you, big bro. And me and Suzuki are on the same wavelength because she realizes the same thing and says she could sleep with 100 guys and her past shouldn't matter. Now hold on, sister. Be who you are. But 100, gosh, damn. But Suzuki realizes that she's actively choosing Tommy and committing to him and giving him her love, which is the most important thing regardless of her past. So she rushes to go find Tani. Still can't fucking run, by the way. Like, this is actually about to piss me off. And as she's running as fast as someone in their dream, Tani's out there thinking. Thankfully, Tani has a fucking frontal lobe and realizes that this stuff happens. It's, you know, it's a person's past. There's not much you can do about it. It's just the fact that he got hit with that soul punch. I low-key think that shit's unavoidable. But as he's going deeper and deeper into the depths of his mind, Suzuki's right there to pull him out and say,
I love you.
reassuring him that even if he is a strong person, there will be times where you're going to be insecure and still to talk to her about it. And after some talking, Tani eventually calls Suzuki by her first name. And he asks if anyone else called her by her first name in middle school, and she just said Rihito. And my man Tani gets a little jealous, and I'm low-key living for it, bro. I like to see this nigga with some personality. He's escaping the bland chud archetype and actually developing personality. It's like getting a shy person to open up more. Progress, bro. But after this great talk, they have to walk to the auditorium, and then the episode ends.
Time to get our story straight. Lock in, Yusuke.
I low-key messed with this episode though. I love me some messiness, and Rihito, the NCR Maxer, brought it out. It was really nice to actually see Tani show some emotion for once. Like, and also, this face is actually frying me, bro. But after the festival, they end off their day with a nice little middle school hangout, and Rihi is reminiscing on the old times.
We could just devote all of our would-be practice time to goof maxing.
High school? Nah, middle school. So Yamada starts to talk about it while they eat, and Tyra's heated.
My middle school was too fun. My lobster was too buttery. My steak was too juicy.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna point out every piece of good dub, but this one actually got me, cause why are you saying my steak is too buttery and too juicy, bro? Like, I was actually dying, bro. Anyways, here's another dub counter.
I'm such a chud.
I don't care if it's reused, it was good placement. But Tyra's calling himself a chud because all his friends have girls, and he's, say it with me, a chud. But that aside, my favorite couple interacting, and it's not going well, guys. The dynamic of misunderstandings are starting to unfold. So at the festival, Yamada went to go talk to Rishi when she was working, and after some awkward silence, he apologizes for bothering her, since Tyra low-key flooded this nigga's brain with bullshit, saying he wouldn't like if a random person were to just start talking to him out of the blue. And I mean fair, but no! He asked for her number and she gave it. She could have said no. Then she proceeded to respond. So like, if she really didn't want to talk to him, she's moving like this. But after Yamada said this, I was in my room straight, no, no, no. My room is crumbling. However, comma, semicolon, I don't really, I haven't taken AP Lang in a couple of years. Rishi steps up and says no. It's not what he thinks it is. She's just an overall shy person and doesn't text a lot of people. And that's what I'm talking about, nigga. And the greatness doesn't stop. Yamada says she shouldn't worry about being shy and that she can just use him as a conversational test dummy. And then Rihi calls him and then he eventually ends up leaving. I'm not gonna lie, tough interaction, bro. And Tyra is once again feeling the rage of 1,000 suns. And after school, he goes on a walk and starts to remember his experience with women, and it's not great. This is definitely a good look into his past and why he acts the way that he does. But right now, the show's just breadcrumbing us because I know there's way more to him. And I know he's way more complex. But, I mean, they just gonna be gatekeeping right now, so, you know, I'll accept it for now. Because he starts blasting some music to take his mind off of it, and he starts blasting some loaded diaper ab music, bro. But as he's listening to the music, Suzuki pulls up, and so does Tani. They pester him a little bit, they go through their usual banter, and are keen on going to see him when he works. He asks why, and then they say they just like hanging around him, and that did something to him. First time this nigga is smiling and isn't all doom and gloom. He looks like Bulbasaur now. It's nice to see that he knows people actually care about him. Because, you know, it can go unnoticed a lot. And having no reassurance can lead to a faulty thought that people don't care about you. So I really appreciate this scene. If you have someone that you haven't glazed or appreciated in a hot minute, go do that. Because they might be a Tyra. But the next day, Rishi sees Yamada and she tries to talk to him first, but she gets beat. However, we're making progress, so that's all that matters. So Rishi goes to talk to Hoshino about it, and Rishi says she doesn't really know how to feel about Yamada, whether she likes him or if it's just like she feels all giddy because she's just talking to a boy in general. Thankfully, Hoshino's there, because without Hoshino, Rishi would actually genuinely just be lost, and the story would be a genuine sad watch. But after this talk, Rishi finishes her time at the library and talks to Tani. She realizes that she doesn't feel too nervous around him, not like Yamada. And just in time to meet up with Suzuki and the gang, so Rishi decides to join them. And as they walk, Yamada's out here cracking jokes and Rishi is being the D1 giggle box that she is. And Yamada points it out and says that he likes it. And in that moment, Rishi understands it is not just some regular nervousness. She is lost. And you remember the greatness between Yamada and Rishi? Shit, I know I remember. I loved it. All this just to progress 10 steps backwards the next day. Cause Rishi spots Yamada in straight flash steps. I'm noticing a trend, bro. And Suzuki peeps it, but she then presses Tani, asking all about Rishi, going full yandere mode. So Tani asks Tyra for his thoughts on this, and he says that she is fully jealous, thinking that Tani has a side piece. So bro might be a little cooked. So we're really all just in a four-way just misunderstanding mess. Maybe three-way. Yamada's just there if I'm gonna keep it a buck. But you can see it on both of these guys. They're actually down in the depths on their shift. Nah, low-key, working with something on your mind actually might be the worst thing of all time. Cause having to do shit with that mental warfare going on in your mind is actually just like torture. Yet on this shift, Tani realizes that he wants to talk to Suzuki and settle things. And same for Rishi. They will both lock in and be prosperous. But before that, we see these imbeciles playing with bubbles. I'm assuming they want an ISO, so I don't know if that's gonna really work out. But Suzuki peeps Tani and Rishi, and Suzuki looks mad as hell. Not gonna lie, bro. I don't know how y'all can be built for yanderes, bro. Y'all got that entirely. I'd actually be scared as fuck. So Suzuki starts to walk up to them, like she's about to turn into an Elden Ring boss. And when Tani tries to talk to her, she ends up going past him and greets Rishi. Friendly, asking her to join them and throws a lob to go at Yamada and watches. And her theory was right. So the whole time Suzuki wasn't jealous, she was just moving in detective mode. She started to realize that the girl Yamada probably likes is Rishi and ends up figuring it out. So they kinda debated us with the whole jealous yandere thing. And it low-key got me, because at first I was thinking, yeah, she definitely just thinks Rishi likes Yamada, but man, the second press that she had on Tani literally had me thinking, damn, this nigga Tani actually is fried. Like, can you blame me? But Tani ends up asking why she asked him about Rishi, and she says it's just so she could be friends with her. My gosh, Suzuki, we gotta work on tone, bro. And the fall season has commenced. Gotta say, fall is by far the best season. The weather's amazing. You can wear whatever clothes you want. Short sleeve, long sleeve. Nigga, you could wear a fur coat if you want to. And also, that wind. I don't know why, but a lot of people don't fuck with the wind, but me, I genuinely love that shit, bro. Like, I'm talking high winds. Like, if you jump, you will be moved type shit. But Suzuki takes this opportunity to hang out with Tani. And Tani finally has something different on. I know it's the fall uniform, but it's still a step in the right direction. And they get this sweet potato thingy and it looks like ice cream, which is a little different for me. I did a little research and I found out that this is a parfait and it's a dessert. I low-key wonder how it would taste. Like, from what I've seen, I genuinely can't get a read for how this would taste. Wait, maybe it's like putting fries in your ice cream. So I think this might be the best dish in the fucking world. But after they devour the McDonald's concoction, they stumble upon the photo booth and they go to take photos with Tani being reluctant. And Suzuki is relying on them filters, bro, looking just like this. And after the little mog sesh, we see Azuma and she gets hit up by her ex and she feels a little sad about it. So the group decides to go out for a bowling trip. And I don't know, for me, bowling's like a once a year kind of thing. Maybe it's because I'm asked, but I feel like there are other things to do because I usually just be yapping instead of focusing on the game, especially if I'm already doing ass, bro. I'm not gonna lie, being competitive and ass at most things gotta be the worst thing of all time. That's a Mechamaru ass binding vow, bro. But anyways, as they're at the bowling alley, Tyra sees a group of his old middle school classmates and that hits that nigga's soul. And I get it. Seeing someone you know in public is awkward because you never know like what kind of level you're on. Like, should you greet them or like, let's just both act like I don't know you because like the other person could probably be on some ego shit. And this is probably worse for Tyra since he wasn't even cool with them. And while he thinks Azuma might talk to them because she kind of knew them, she reassures him and says that there's literally nothing to worry about. Like, they're gonna act like they don't notice them and then they're gonna talk behind their back. And that is exactly why Azuma is the GOAT, bro. And after the bowling trip, Tyra asked Azuma about them, but apparently there was a lot of like interdating in the group, so it was all weird and jumbled. And Azuma's like that one friend that just be getting played in their face time and time again, and she just goes for it. Like, come on, girl. We gotta do better for ourselves. And as she's describing how dirty she's been done by these people at the bowling alley, one of them hits her up and she decides to laugh it off. Thankfully though, Tyra says, enough's enough and chews her out, saying that she needs to get angry and not just let people walk all over her. I think this is a great message, and the pairing of these two works so well, in my opinion, to give off this point. Just because of their past, they've known each other for so long, and Tyra flipping out actually shows how much he cares since she knows him so well. With Tyra's personality, he wouldn't be the type to flip out, so it just makes it matter that much more. And even the words he says that would be off-putting to someone that doesn't know him that well, it works for Ozma since she does. However, all that work just went in the trash because the next day Tyra's overthinking and fumbled literally everything he said. He said sorry for overstepping, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't want someone to tell me this and that. Like, you're good, big bro. You're good. But flipping back to our main couple, we see Suzuki's dad and brother won't be home because of a baseball game. And you know what that means. Mission Tani comes over and visits to meet Suzuki's mom, and this is a really long mission name. But Suzuki's mom is excited to meet Tani, and I like this line from her.
I love me an excuse to order delivery in the middle of the day.
Because it's just such a mom thing to say, bro. I low-key love the moms of the slice of life and romance genre. Like, I don't think a show has ever missed with them. And let's just say, she's definitely Suzuki's mom. But Suzuki and Tani go to Suzuki's room, and the Rain becomes a paid actor to sell the Cozy Bob. And all that good shit from the Rain gets negated because the Rain also made the baseball game get canceled. And Pops has arrived home. But fuck all that shit, my show's on. So in Suzuki's room, she gets a little closer and asks Tani for a hug. And gosh damn, this might be top 5 most awkward hugs of all time. But after that, they just chill and finish out their hangout. They start to leave for us to see Pops dripped out in the best fit he has in that damn closet. Bro's looking like he's about to stay a night in Hawaii, but he's doing it to look cool for Suzuki's friend, since her mom didn't actually tell him that Tani was her boyfriend. And then Suzuki walks out genuinely surprised and says Tani is her boyfriend. And let's just say, he is definitely Suzuki's dad too. I do fuck with Pops though, he has a nice vibe and intention. And after the house visit, the fall season sadly is ending and getting closer and closer to Tani's B-Day.
Big dub!
So Suzuki's trying to think about what to get Tani, but Tani does not know how to respond to surprises, and I low-key get that. Personally, it's hard to get a reaction out of me that is like surprised or overly excited. Like, I'll be on my birthday like, aw, thank you. But on the inside, like, I'm actually really appreciative and happy. But on the night before his birthday, Tani is trying to stay up to see if Suzuki will surprise him on his birthday, and she does end up calling him. And as the clock strikes 12, she says,
It's time. Happy birthday, Tani.
something simple. She figured out Tani isn't much of a surprise guy, and to show that you care doesn't mean you need to throw some extravagant party or have like the most surprising surprise, but rather just a simple happy birthday. And this shows how much Suzuki understands Tani. After this, she ends the call with a simple I love you. The simplicity. But at the end of the day, Tani and Suzuki go to buy a mini cake and they celebrate together. Suzuki gives Tani a scarf, thankfully adding to his fuck-ass drip, and he thanks her. But nah, he hits her with a pump fake once again. I can't lie, if I was Suzuki, we gotta fight at this point. This shit not a game! But for the weekend, Suzuki and Tani pick out a place that he wants to go to since she usually does all of the picking. And after some long thinking, he decides he wants to go to the museum. Okay, now me personally, I feel the same way about museums that I do aquariums. I feel like they're butt. I haven't recently been, but I don't know, it's just not my vibe. Maybe the more unk I get, I would like it. But once again, I stand on my take of it would only be good if you're with someone you like. Or if the museum is like history on something I really, really care about, like something really interesting. Like, I don't even know, maybe like Oreos or some shit. After they explore the most packed museum of fucking 2026, they go to get their food, but the world is genuinely just against them and everything is closed. So they eventually just decide on a food truck, and oh my gosh, food trucks are the bomb. Like, I go to this one food truck, and let's just say, I try to go every day. My friends be hating on me.
No drugs in our system.
Oh!
Alright. We got crumble. Motherfucker looks, he looks like Crollo Loki.
W hang out though, and they sit down and eat the scrumptiousness of the food truck.
Super bussin' birthday bash!
Then after, they go their separate ways, and Suzuki sets up the craziest lob, the moment we've all been waiting for. I started locking in, leaning towards my screen, and Tani hugs her. Oh shit. We can't be serious, my nigga. Hey, I guess, man. But nah, Suzuki's been baited way too long. She understands the rage bait and hits that Maji kick full counter and kisses him. Taking inspiration from the GOAT, I get it. But yes, we're so up. I love that we're growing out of that finale episode shit for real. It don't need to be rushed, but we still dealing with no filler. Sensational. In the next episode, we pop out with Tani and Suzuki just awkwardly fried to the max. They still trying to play it cool though, but there's a school trip about to come up and they get to planning. Nah, that is one thing I wish American schools did more. More school trips would be actually amazing. All we really get is like 8th grade DC trip that some of y'all didn't even get because of COVID. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't supposed to either. But my middle school merged 7th and 8th grade. I'm an anomaly. But they have this big ass group doing their trip, and Yamada's really just a dude that put his name on the assignment on the project. So he ends up dipping to go check on Rishi. And he ends up helping them. Can't lie, I love the way Hoshino be moving. She's really reminding me of the modern GOAT. She throwing lobs left and right, it will have you thinking, why is she not drafted? And thankfully, Yamada knows how to hoop. He's fucking hungry. He ends up asking Nishi to let him know what activities their group is gonna be doing on the trip so he can end up trying to be with her. And I love the way you hoop, big bro. But we're gonna put a pin on that and check on Azuma. She's been hit with the, oh no. We have to pick groups, but my group is too big for the number they requested. And I don't have enough rank to be picked out of everyone else. Oh my gosh, what do I do? And oh my gosh, Suzuki just asked to have a bigger group. Green. I do get this though, like a lot. It's such an awkward scenario to be in. And I would literally react just how Azuma did. Thankfully though, it didn't have to get awkward. And this low-key lets us look into Azuma more and how she thinks. She's kind of like a more tuned down version than Suzuki. Anxious about how people